Hi and welcome to week 5 of Stammering blog. So this week I'm going to go straight into a subject matter because I'm aware it may take a bit of time and I want to devote the 10 minutes to this. So as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to talk about people's reactions of two people that stammer. So, I'm sure most people watching this, if you stammer, you can join in, and I'd really love to hear your comments and thoughts. So please do leave a comment and see how people have reacted to you before. But I really wanted to ask why people react like that. So if you'd have watched the link that I posted to Gogglebox, when they were doing the Educating Yorkshire with Mushraf, and they film. So Gogglebox, if you don't know, they just film people watching TV. I know it sounds bizarre, but that's basically what Gogglebox is. I'm sure you're aware of it. And when Mushraf came into the room, I'll leave another link to this video in the comment section below, so you can go and watch it for yourself. But some of the comments were, this is them watching it, not knowing anything about Mushraf or what was about to happen. So one person said, in his words, he said, "Get on with it, cut the crap, spit it out." They were his comments. To be fair to him, after the programme went on a bit and it was apparent that Mushraf had a stammer, he did apologise to his family for those comments. Somebody else said, "I couldn't put up with him taking that long. I'd just say write it down and fling him a piece of pen and paper." Somebody else said, "It's stress induced, I reckon." They're the types of things. I mean, actually, it's the other way round. Stress doesn't cause stammering. Stammering causes stress. So how have people got these perceptions, and why do people react the way they do? Well, pretty lack of understanding, lack of acknowledgement, lack of awareness, really, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this blog, to get the message out there. But then, that kind of got me thinking, so why do people react like that? What is it about stammering that's different? And then it kind of got me thinking, well, actually, over the years, how stammering's portrayed in the media, you look at TV characters, and whilst it may be trivial to some, you even go back as a kid growing up watching Looney Tunes and Porky Pig, stammering, and that was for amusement, that was put in for people to laugh at. You look at Arkwright in Open All Hours. I was actually watching a few YouTube videos last night, and his stammer wasn't there for any other reason, really. He was stammering and the audience was laughing at the stammer. So, the older generation that have been brought up with that TV programme, that's their perception of stammering. It was a very popular TV show. You look at South Park, and they're there to, that stammer is given to them as a sign, a bit like Waterboy. If you look at that, that character was timid, shy. He was a guy that got laughed at. Whereas where's the stammering characters that are proud and strong and have got a good role, if you like? There isn't any there isn't any out there. And then even when Comic Relief in 2011, so Comic Relief, massive, everybody watches it. They're supposed to promote equality and raise money for disabilities and those sorts of things, all of that. They start the show with a Lenny Henry sketch, making out that stammering is funny, and this is supposed to entertain people. And whilst it might have been in good heart, actually, it didn't really get it. And when I was researching this a little bit last night, because the British Stammering Association quite rightly wanted an explanation, the Daily Mirror ran a report on this, and it went along the lines of, this was the paragraph: the British Stammering Association have demanded answers from the BBC, blah, 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 blah. Why don't they just get a sense of humour and F, and then ... off. And so even then, the intention is to poke fun, to ridicule, really. And why do we stand for that? You know, like for instance, you know, I was as guilty as anyone. I talked about the bar incident a couple of weeks ago. If that happened now, no doubt in my mind, I'd be straight back and I'd be demanding answers and wanting to speak to somebody. But when you stammer and haven't got any control over that, then that is even more difficult, and you're just gonna just forget it, because you don't want to go back, you don't want to challenge, you know. And for other perceived problems in life, it's now socially unacceptable to poke fun at people. You know, if there was somebody in a wheelchair in a shop who was struggling to reach something, and a couple of people were walking by and laughing at that person, they would be, I would bet the people in that shop that would hear that would challenge that, and because it's socially unacceptable. So what's different about stammering? I'm not quite sure. I don't really get it, and this is what I'm saying. Why? So they react the way they do because probably lack of awareness, but also it seems to be fine, and that's not right. And why you wouldn't do that for any other disability. Now, I use the word disability there, and I'm aware that could be not how everyone perceives their stammer. So let me just explain that a little bit. So I perceive my stammer to be a disability. I never used to. I remember pre having any control over my speech, before I did my course, somebody said to me, "Do you claim disability living allowance, by the way?" And I responded, I remember struggling to get the response out, but eventually I responded, "Why would I do that?" And they said, "Because of your speech." And I was like, "But it's because you don't recognise it." But actually, you know, over the years, and let me just quantify something. So I work in the world of social work. So it's been drilled into me at university and everything, the social model of disability. So I don't see disability as a negative or something bad or whatever. So that's probably helped me come to this conclusion. Now, if you don't, that's fine. Respect your opinion. I'd really like some opinions on this. I think it's a great debate. I know when I go out with my stammering posse, every time we get onto this subject, it's always a really good topic of conversation and really get some strong opinions. But actually, when you look at the definition of what a disability is, let me just read this to you. You're disabled under the Equality Act 2010 if you have a physical or mental impairment that has a substantial and long-term negative effect on your ability to do normal daily activities. That's it. So I would suggest stammering, you cannot, with no technique over your stammer or control over your stammer, your ability to do these everyday activities is extremely limited, like pick the phone up and order something, or make a doctor's appointment, all those things that everybody takes for granted. So that's how I've got to that conclusion, but I'm fully aware that not everybody will. So we wouldn't mock any other, I'm going to say disability, and excuse me if you forgive me, in the same way. And is it not time that we stood up and challenged that and got some social justice? I would suggest it is. And I know the British Stammering Association do some great work raising awareness and whatever, but we need to do more, and that starts with us. That starts with us challenging it, and I know that's not easy to do if you've got no control over your stammer. Like I said, I never did till I got control. So I fully appreciate it. It's not easy. Some people might say, well, you can control it now, so is that still a disability? Well, actually, how is that any different to somebody with mobility problems, and they're overcome that because they've used to get to the shops, they've used a wheelchair or a scooter or whatever to get to the shops. You would still class that as a disability. So that's using a technique is the same kind of way. My stammer's still here, it hasn't gone anywhere, it still lives with me every single day, and it's something I have to think about every time I open my mouth, otherwise the words get stuck, get blocked. So going back to the original question, reactions and why people react. I'd really like people to comment on this, put it on the social media channel, put it on the YouTube, what you think. For people that don't stammer as well, I'd be really interested in it. We'll pick this up again maybe next week and we'll talk about it some more. Be really, really interesting. But on that note, thank you for watching. Thank you to people that have subscribed. If you do like what I'm doing, I'd really appreciate you hit that subscribe button. It will really help the channel grow. And if you could hit the like button as well, that would be fab. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.